Alright, boys and girls, for 611, we're going to look at polyhedrons. A polyhedron is different than a polygon. What you see right here is a polygon. We've talked a lot about those. Those have 3 or more sides. So we've looked at the triangle, the basic shapes, square, pentagon. Those are polygons. Now, the difference between a polyhedron and a polygon is the dimension. For example, with a polygon, it's what we would call two-dimensional. That means if I cut out a piece of paper, it's a triangle, that's a triangle, and I give it to you, it has a front and a back. There's 2 sides to it. That's all that there is. However, if I have a polyhedron and I tried to cut it out, I can't just cut out one piece of paper that looks like that same triangle. This is only 2-dimensional. Polyhedrons are 3-dimensional. So we have a triangle there, a triangle there, a triangle in the back, and a triangle on the side. Looking at the math reference book, it gives us a good example. Triangles, quadrangles, which we know have 4 angles, and circles, those are flat shapes. They take up a certain amount of area, but they don't take up space. They're flat. Like I said, if you cut out a piece of paper, it's just flat. Okay, we can draw a triangle, a square, and a circle. However, polyhedrons, which are solids, take up space, like a box, a book, or chairs. They are what you call 3-dimensional objects. Some solids, like a rock or an animal, don't have a regular shape. And other ones are really easy for us to describe using geometric words. Okay, if we look at this example here, it's a box. Now, I can't just cut out a box. That's not a box. This is just a square. Okay? The difference is that the surface on the outside of any solid, like this right here, it could be flat, it could be curved, or maybe both. But that flat surface of a solid is called the face. So this is just one face of the square. This is also another face of the box. I'm sorry, not a square. Okay? In the example here that they've given us, they show you face, 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 and guess what's behind on the other side of this? More faces of the same that are also a square in shape. For example, watch the yellow line. Zoom it in. There's a face of the box, a face, a face. Behind those faces, you see more faces that are also boxes. So do you see how we have this face, which is a square, this face, that's a square, the face on the back side of the box, the face on the edge of the box here, and on top. Those are all different faces, but they're all of this square shape. Here's another example. This is called a pyramid. Okay? The pyramid has a triangle shape there, but it's 3-dimensional, so it also has the side, the back face, and this back face. The bottom is not a triangle, but that is what we would call the base. Okay? Base, this is face. Sound similar, they rhyme, but they're not the same. Another important point of the polyhedron are the vertices. Just like when we do an angle, and this is the vertice, same with our polyhedrons. Right here, where that meets, that, those are all vertices. The last thing I want to point out to you is what we call an edge. The edge is where the faces meet together. So for example, this face right here meets with this face at this line right here. Okay? So we call that the edge. The edge. Now what we see on this page is different kinds of polyhedrons. We know that the polyhedron is a solid, three-dimensional, where the surfaces are all flat and formed by polygons. For example, this is a flat surface and it's formed by a triangle or a polygon. The other side on the back is also a triangle, and that one's a triangle. And on the bottom is even a triangle. That is called a triangular prism. Okay? The next one they call a rectangular prism because the bottom is actually a different shape than a triangle. Okay? I'm sorry, not prism, pyramid. Pyramid, like the pyramids from Egypt that you see that are made of sand. Those are pyramids. Okay? Pyramids have one or many faces that are triangles. Then we have the pentagonal pyramid and the hexagonal pyramid. If you remember, pentagon is something with 5 sides. So there are 5 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the bottom, the base that we talked about earlier is a pentagon. The hexagonal pyramid, you can see, has a hexagon as the base. Hexagon means 6, so it has 6 sides. Then we have prisms. Okay? So we have pyramids, pyramids and prisms. The prisms obviously are not pyramids like in Egypt, but they have a square side here, square face here. There you go. They tell you though that the name of the prism is based on what kind of shape it is. So for example, you see excuse me, this little guy here, that's a triangle. So we'd call that a triangular prism. This one is a rectangular prism and a hexagonal prism because this is a hexagon. Okay? Below, it gives you an example of what they call regular polyhedrons. We have the regular tetrahedron that has 4 faces. It's a pyramid. the cube, which is a prism with 6 faces, the regular octagon, oct means 8, so there are 8 faces, regular dodecagon, and the regular icosahedron, which has 20. Okay? So, now we've seen a lot of polyhedron shapes. What I want you to remember are the following. The prism, which is 3-dimensional. Prism. The sphere, now we have a circle, that's not 3-dimensional. When it's 3-dimensional, you almost see through it. Like you can see that it's a circle all the way around like a ball. We call that a sphere. The next one that I want to look at is called a cylinder. A cylinder has a top and a bottom that are ovals. Okay. Then we have, let me title that. That one is the cylinder. We have the cone. The cone has a circular bottom and it's shaped like a triangle on the outside. That one we call a cone. Cone. And the last one, which we talked about earlier, is the pyramid. The pyramid that has a square on the bottom. Okay? We call that one a pyramid. These are important to remember for your test, including what you'll see on your home links today.